Hello there, and if you are joining me today, may I say a very big welcome. You are here at the start of my YouTube channel. My name is Itsy Bitsy. Don't ask where the name came from. Okay, and as you can see, the game that we are starting with today is Loop Hero. It is an absolutely fantastic game. I'm in love with the graphics and the music. I cannot get over that music. It is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so the game that we are playing, it has a little bit of deck building, it has very unique monsters, and honestly, just the gameplay in general, for me, it's unique. I've not seen a game like it as of yet. We are also going to play with dyslexia-friendly fonts, so if there is anyone dyslexic, please let me know if it helps, because if not, we will switch to the higher resolution fonts instead. Now, I have already played the game just so I could get into it and see how the game works, learn a bit more about the classes, but if there is anything that you can help me with, please let me know in the comments below. So, without further ado, we're going to start a new save together, we'll get through the tutorial and see where we go from there. So, here we go. Stars in the sky are going out, one by one. But no one notices it. No one can even stop it. I'm racing to the last place where there is still hope. I need to make it before it is too late. Sounds of agony will quickly fade. The world will be destroyed. Even the memory of it will be gone. And even if there is absolutely no chance of bringing it all back, there will always be someone who is willing to do the impossible. In a place without space, without time, without memories. Where am I? I can't see anything except this path. My head is killing me. I remember only a skeleton with a staff in the sky. This darkness was coming from him. Did he destroy everything around here? Just standing here won't do me any good, I guess. And here we go, we are in the game. So, to change between adventure and planning modes, press the switch, right click or space. Okay, so we will do as the game tells us. We're going from planning to adventure. And there we go. I hope I'll be able to find some shelter before nightfall. if things such as nightfall still even exist without sky, of course. Pay attention to the day progress bar at the top of the screen. New enemies usually appear at the end of each day. So, daylight progress is just up here in your top left. We will come to the second bar in a bit. Either the tutorial will show us or our prompt. We'll just see how it goes. A living ball of slime. Quite a nuisance. They digest anything they can. Hey, I remembered this creature. Maybe I just need to freshen up my memory and everything will go back to normal. Travelling, fighting and most other actions are done automatically. The player can't affect them directly. So, may as well let our character fight the slime. And as for a tutorial, the first one was easy. It's hard to fight with your bare hands. Then there's a weapon in the remains of this thing that's not fully digested. Me personally, I would not be grabbing a weapon that's just come out of a monster's stomach. But needs must, I guess. So, you have an inventory and an item slot. You know what to do. I certainly do. One thing I will do very quickly is just explain this part up here. So as you can see, we've got 4 tiles that are blacked out, which are our sword, our ring, our shield and our chest plate. So these are the only 4 things that we can equip while using this class. This class is called the Warrior. Now there will be a screen a bit later which will help us see just what exactly the Warrior does get in terms of additional stats and bonuses. But for now, we're going to just do what the game says. So we have a sword. It is called Gladius and it does 4 to 6 damage. So we're just going to grab that and pop it on. I think I remember that there was a grove nearby. Are these even my memories or do they belong to that slime? Okay, so you can use cards that are left after defeating enemies to add various new objects to the map. That's what planning mode is for. So he wants us to just pick this up and pop it down. So as you can see on the bottom right is it does give you some more information about that card itself. So, the grove spawns a rat wolf every 2 days. The wolf can move to an adjacent tile. So, we're just going to pick it up and pop it down. And now we're going to carry on. So, get out of planning mode and back into adventure. there we go. There is our rat wolf. And very easily handled. Forest rat wolf. I was right. Some emotional stress, a few colourful images, and a bit of adrenaline. And everything will be forgotten like a bad dream. Or remembered as a bad... Damn! It's good that nobody is listening. Well, we're not listening, but we're certainly reading with you. So you can get new items and cards during battle, as you probably already noticed. Some items have unique abilities, as do most of the cards. By hovering over an item or card, you can inspect its properties. So we've already worked that one out already when you go over and boom, there's a writing on the right hand side. So the forest gives plus 1% for to hero attack speed. So that's great. I'm going to pop that down, which means our character is now going to be just that little bit faster. We also have here a rock. Now the rock is quite an interesting card for me. It also has a mountain. Now the rock, as you can see, gives you plus 2 health, and it also gives you plus 2 more for every adjacent rock or mountain. So the more you put together, the bigger the bonus will be. Now with a mountain, I think that is plus 3. I could be wrong. We will double check that when it comes round. So what I like to do is I like to keep my rocks and mountains separate, just to try and maximise how much bonuses I can get. So I'm going to pop our rock in the top left. And here we have our next sword. So it is a ritual sword, 4 to 6 damage, but it also has on there magic damage. Now this is where you guys can come in, because magic damage goes a bit over my head. So if you can explain it and give us some more info and tips, please put it down in the comments and we'll explore it together. But for now, we'll just pop it on. Great, so there was a mountain over there, and here is a forest. The world is just like new. The branches and stones in my backpack are a sure sign of that. Some of your actions will yield resources that you will need later on, but not right now. But that shouldn't stop you from looking at them right now. Certainly can, game. So as you can see, it is highlighting our backpack at the top of the screen. So we're just going to go into there. And there you go. So it tells you what you have. So we've got there a staple wood and preserved rock. And those have obviously come from placing down our rock and our forest. To get rid of this, just click it again. And there you go. And now we're just going to continue and get to our little camp. And round we go. I think it's time to get some rest. The game itself is a journey on a loot path. Only you will decide when it's time for the hero to return to the camp. Either you, or the fangs and claws of your enemies, of course. You can retreat almost any time, but a special animation will let you know when it's safe to do so. As you can see here with the wonderful arrow, we've got a little man running. So that just means that we are on the campfire, which will mean that you get to keep all your resources. So if you do die in the game, you obviously do get less. I think it is around 30% of your resources that you get to keep. But if you manage to make it back to your campfire and retreat there, you get to keep all of it. And here we go. So we are going to keep our lovely rock and our lovely stone as well. So retreat. Let's go see what they're for. It's cold and dark here. A small fire can solve both those problems. Nice place to set up camp. I mean, personally, for me, no, it's completely dark. This is when all resources you've gathered will come in handy. Who would have thought? You have just enough wood and stones to make a campfire. What a nice coincidence. Build a campfire using the build function while in a camp. So, I'm going to go on to build and click our campfire. Ooh, look at all the stuff. So we've got lots of things that we can build. Obviously, we come to those later. So, campfire. Right in the centre of the darkness. Ta-da! Congratulations, you've beaten this annoying tutorial. You can now start your first expedition. Or not. Do as you wish. Click anywhere to complete the tutorial. Well, there we go. That is the tutorial complete, and we are going to now start our first run. Now, as you can see, just got our little campfire, and it does give you some more information if you click it. So the hero restores 20% of his max HP upon entering the campfire tile, which, as you saw from the loot before, is literally just a campfire on the floor. Click away anywhere on the screen if you want to get rid of it, so left click on it, and then left click away. And it brings you just these options again. And this is where the fun begins. Here is our expedition menu. There will be more later, but I'm assuming just because this is our first loop, we're not going to get to see all of it just yet. So guys, ladies and gents, everything in between, let's go. I love the music, just da-da-da-da-da. This path, everything is wrong, but I remember. It looks like a completely different place, and it's empty again. Do my actions have any meaning? Like I have a choice. if I need to give up and crying to save the world, I'm the worst saviour of all. Let's do it. So as you can see, the path has indeed changed, and I'm pretty sure it's random each time you go. And here we go. Lots of lovely slimes for us to, unfortunately, murder and get some stuff out of it. So we're just going to pause straight away. So here we have our armour. Dun, dun, dun. Let's go put that on. And then we have here a treasury card. So the thick walls guard all kinds of riches from thieves and previous owners. So the Treasury. The Treasury gives a random resource after placing anything on an adjacent tile. However, it can't be built adjacent to anything else. Now, I love this card. So once you actually complete a circle around it, it does give you bonus resources and also sometimes some bonus weapons. So what we're going to do is click on him. And as you can see, the green areas aren't as big as before. That's because obviously you can't place it on the very edge of the map. So what we're going to do is we're just going to shove him over there. And we'll work on that in a bit. So, onwards to the next one. Here we go with another slime. Now, the day has also just restarted. Well, progressed, should I say. So, as you can see, I think we do have just a couple more slimes there. So, here is a road lantern. This is probably one of my more favourite cards. So, a small spotlight in this grim world decreases the maximum number of monsters on adjacent tiles, and the effective lanterns can stack. So the reason why I like this card so much is because I have been on runs where the further I go, the more I've struggled. And honestly, this really does help to limit just what you're fighting. So with this one here, the spider cocoon, this one spawns a spider on an adjacent tile once a day. So every day you're going to get a new spider. So if you're new to the game, such as what we're doing right now, it's great to kind of put these together because you can have up to 4 enemies on a tile. So with this one, you can only have 3. But we want to utilise this the best way that we can. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our cocoon just here and put a road lantern there. So then that's going to affect now the adjacent 5 tiles. But it does mean we are now restricting these guys straight away because they can be a menace if you can't control them straight away and early in the game. Especially while we don't have a weapon either. Ah! I hope we get one soon. Onwards to the next slime. There goes our little character fighting barehanded. And here we go. So we're just going to pause it there. Our first weapon. Ah, it's our friend, the Gladius. Let's go put him back on. So these are the 2 cards I was talking about before. So I do apologise. It is actually +5 for a mountain. So what we are going to do first is we're going to put down the rock just because it gives us the smallest amount of health. I'm going to put that around our treasury to get our first bonus resource. So that off the bat has given us, obviously, we've got the pebbles from our rock. It's also given us some scrap metal as well. That's perfect. Then we're going to put the mountain next to this. Now, it should normally give us +5, so we're on 348. And look at that. Because of the bonus, we go from 348 to 355. That's absolutely fantastic, quite honestly. And there we go. So we've also got some more resources there, which is why these treasuries do come in handy if you are struggling to get resources, especially early in the game. Now then, there is this bar here, which I do believe the tutorial has not covered. So this is your map completion. So basically this bar will go up with the more things that you do put down, and when it gets completely full, you get a boss. Now your boss will always appear on the campfire tile, and with our first boss, who is the Lich, he also spawns in some items around which they do give him some bonuses. So we will obviously keep an eye out for that a bit later on. There is a card in this called the Oblivion card, which can eliminate one tile. It clears absolutely everything on it. Now, I personally like to keep those for the boss because you can then get rid of those buildings that he puts up, and it does then decrease what he can do to you. But for now, let's go get another slime. Poor slimes are beating them all up today, aren't they? But as you can see, damage is much better. Right, and here we do have some new items. We have a ring here, which will give us bonus attack speed. Definitely take that. And the shield gives us more defense. So as you can see, all of our stats are displayed there in the bottom right. It's absolutely perfect. We are going to carry on. I'm still waiting though for a slime to appear on 2 different tiles. So that's just me there hovering over. So if you are in a fight like this now, notice how it's not continuing? That's because my mouse is hovered over an item. So while you are in battle, if you do want to look at some things, because if you get multiple monsters, sometimes they do drop items while you are fighting. Now, they do come in handy because you can still switch out your weapons while in a fight. So right now I'm just double checking that this weapon isn't any better than the one that we have. But for now, it isn't, so we're just going to carry on. There we go, so we're just going to go into a quick pause, check the shield, and nope, same defense. So now just pop down another mountain here. And we're going to get the rock just next to it. There we go. And then, let's just go kill another poor slime. Oh no. And there we go. Oh, now we do have here an axe. Oh, I thought it was going to be a bit better with it being an axe, but never mind. Now we do have the grove, which we've already encountered, spawns in the rat wolves. Now I'm just going to pop him over here, just because we've already gone past it. Now that road lantern, I don't want to put down just yet. I want to see just where enemies will spawn, especially like all these little slimes. And I want to see where that's going to be most effective. So for now, we're just going to leave it alone and carry on. There we go. Okay, so we now have here another ring, which does exactly the same as what we've got, but we do have another piece of armour. So here, we would lose 2 max health, but we would then gain a 9% evasion bonus. So personally for me, that evasion is going to be fantastic, because we are a poor little man on our own. So I'm just going to pop that on, and there we go. Evasion then gets added onto our stats. Now this card is fantastic. So this one heals 2 HP at the start of each day. Now what it doesn't tell you, now if I were to pop that on its own, say if I click it, if I were to pop this over here, that would only give me the 2 health. But if you pop it next to a card that you've already got down, it then changes. It changes into a blooming meadow, goodness me. And that now heals me for 3 HP at the start of each day. So what I've started doing, particularly in my runs, is I normally set up like a little maze and I pop all the little meadows in between, and then we get just the bonus health at the end of the day. So for now, nothing else to do but keep going and just batter these poor little slimes. Here we go. So we now have a cemetery card that will spawn a skeleton every 3 days. So just because that one spawns a bit slower, I'll stick him on his own and pop him there. Now we have a beacon. I love these beacons. So this gives you a 40% movement speed within range and 20% attack speed for all units. That does include the mobs as well. Now I typically like to place these on the centre, because you do get some little bits on the inside. Just trying to find the best places to put them. So it looks like it's either going to be the top right or bottom left. So what we've got there, 6, 8. Oh, that one does 3, 6. That one does 9. So I'm going to pop that one there just so we can maximise the bonus from it. And onwards we go. Here we go. So we've got another weapon. Nothing changes. But we do have another treasury. Now I'm going to put him there, because then if I then get any more meadows, I can then start combining it around as well. We do have another beacon. Quite handy, so I'll pop that one there. There we go, we've completed our first loop. Hey! So as you can see up here as well, it does tell you the loop counter and the enemy level as well, which is always handy. I do apologise, I have a cat on my mouse. There we go. So we're just going to continue on there. And we've got another shield. We're just going to pause very quickly. Shield, no extra bonuses. Now we do have another grove, so I'm going to pop that one there, I think, just for now. And here we go. So we're going to come up now against our first lot of spiders, and we haven't faced those ones yet, and there are 2 of them. Hoping we don't die. As you can see, they are faster at attacking, but they don't have much health, which is always a bonus. So the ring. Now this one gives us an extra 9% evasion, and the armour gives us less health. So the armour is definitely not, it's just not on the cards for us. But the ring now, because it does give us the evasion, that is something to consider. So we would get 18 evasion %, but I like the attack speed, because obviously we are a bit slow right now, so we're just going to keep it how it is and continue. See, one thing I do love about this game is it's not too hard to kind of pick up what you're doing. And it is still interesting enough where you just want to keep going. See how far you can go with your loops. See how many loops you can do. One thing I would like to know actually is if you pop it in the comments below, just how many loops you've done. Like, what is the maximum amount of loops that you've ever completed? Please let us know. As you can see here, we did also get a lovely little ring. So if we were to switch out the ring, we get 2 defense and 11% vampirism. Now, vampirism, as in most games, it just gives you that bonus bit of lifesteal, essentially. So, to be fair, yeah, we're going to stick that on. Because as you can see, we are losing a bit of health. We've lost 50 health there. So, lifesteal's going to come in very handy. And here we go again. So now what I'm going to do to maximise the amount of health I'm going to get off that mountain, I'm just going to put a rock there, put a mountain in the centre. And there we go. So because we completed a circuit around the treasury, this is now an empty treasury, which will now spawn a gargoyle every 3 days, which I'm not going to complain at. It's just another mob for us to fight. We did then gain the armour and a shield. So let's have a quick look at those. So that gives us max HP at 160. Also gives us some attack speed. To be fair, I would prefer the attack speed at this point, so we're just going to pop him on. Then we've also got here a better shield, so we get a bit of a regen, which is great. I would love to get that regen per day. Well, per second, sorry. Bit more defense, and the magic damage. Now, I can't remember if I've said already, but the magic damage I am a bit unsure on, so any tips or advice that you have, pop them in the comments. But for now, we are going to take it. So we're going to pop down another rock, and I'm going to put down another meadow. And there we go. I'm hoping we get a skeleton. Oh, we just missed him. That's a bit of a shame. There we go. So as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm just pausing the game after each battle, just so I can have a quick look at everything and put all of our cards down. I think there is a setting to do that automatically for you, but for me, like, often as not, I would prefer to just let the loop continue. Now here, we have our Vampire Mansion. So it adds vampires to battles on adjacent tiles. So he is very handy. Say if I popped him like there, and then he'll just spawn in around here whenever there's another battle. It's not constant, it is obviously still a chance, but I'm pretty sure we'll get a vampire here and here, so that's always handy. Okay, so we do now have another meadow. Now, I'm going to pop him there. Just obviously then we can get the blooming meadow bonus. I know it's only 1 health, but that's now what? 3 health extra? I think I prefer that. We do have, of course, another beacon. Let's pop him. Oh, I don't want to. I think I'm going to put you there. And there we go. We've completed another loop. As you can see in this top corner, so our loop and enemy level is 3. So it does affect the level of the enemy, and it also affects the level of the equipment found. Because as you can see, we're still only getting level 1 items. Not really the best right now. I mean, to be fair, we're still going pretty well, which is what I like to see. Now this card is very useful. So we are going to keep that for when the boss spawns. We're just going to start using Oblivion on the buildings that he spawns. So we're going to keep that one and carry on. I do feel sorry for these poor slimes. I'm just beating them up every blooming day. Okay, so I do have another meadow. Pop them down, and another piece of armour. Now I could lose the attack speed that we have from it and gain more max health, but I mean, I don't really want to put that ring back on to gain more attack speed, so we're going to keep this one for now. See what else we can get. I wouldn't mind some rarer items, to be honest. Now, in case you haven't worked it out as well, one thing I will do is just pop it into planning mode, is the different colours do obviously represent obviously the better rarities. So the orange, I'm pretty sure, is like the best one that you want. So whenever I see orange, I'm getting a bit excited. It's like, oh, let's see what it has for us today. Now, the shield, I'm not too bothered about switching. I know it has more defense, but I do still want to have that regen. It's only a small amount per second, but it does add up. Now, I have also noticed we have this here, which is the Goblin Camp. So he appears for every 10 mountain or rock tiles that we put down. So obviously we must have got more than that here. So that's like, what, 6, 7, 8, yeah. We've put down plenty there. So the goblin spawns a goblin on adjacent tiles once a day. So we're about to hit 2 of them. This is going to be interesting because goblins, they are a bit of an annoyance for me. We'll show you why. Stop! Where did these goblins come from? I don't remember remembering you.
We remembered ourselves. Now give us all you've got.
You have no idea what's going on, right? Why don't you help me restore order in this world first, and then you can do anything you want?
Goblin must rob. No other order in the world.
Fair enough. Guess I don't have any valid objection here. Oh, wait, I do have one. How about... we're just going to stab them. But they are so quick. And it is irritating, especially when you get more of them. And further on, when you go into other chapters, so obviously stronger chapters, you can get some that spawn archers. It's strange how these creatures appeared here on their own. Maybe it means everything is actually not so bad and that the world is trying to restore itself. Although even the apocalypse isn't enough to get rid of some of these pests. Okay, so I've entered back into planning mode because I saw a better chestplate. Now this, I mean, I would lose the 4% on attack speed, but I gain more regen, and look at that max HP. Definitely taking that. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. And onwards we go. Now, did anyone see the gargoyle? I'll have to show you in 1 second. So here is our gargoyle. They flew from over here and they went wee down to here. Oh, I didn't notice it did that. So on the wasteland tiles, it does actually tell you it has a 5% chance of spawning a slime once a day. Didn't know that. Good job I read it. And what do we have here? We have another piece of armour. So we have damage to all. To be honest, I'm actually quite considering that just because... Also, we've got some 2 spiders there. We're going to enter another day soon. It will come in handy the further on we go because obviously damage to all. I know it's only 2, but it's going to help. So, sorry max health bonus. It's painful to do, but it had to be done. Back off, human. A vampire? Where are your lands? If your farmers need help, I'll be glad to offer it. No more lands. No more flock. Only hundreds of years of emptiness and hundreds of years of hunger. Save yourself while you still can. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep my head straight. What hundreds of years are you talking about? Your mind is easy to trick, but you can't trick my hunger. It demands its share. Every sip, every drop of blood will go to satiate it. I'm too weak, but you can help me, and I will set this crumbled world right. Right. I'm doing this not for just myself, but for everyone. In the name of good. So be grateful for my hard work and just let me bleed you dry. Yeah, I kind of don't want to be bled dry, mate. And there we go. So he's getting the vampirism, and we're getting the vampirism, so it's... Ah, there you go, mate. Sorry. Vampires often owned our lands. They kept the peace and helped our settlements to prosper. But this won't do it all. Now they're just pale shadows of their former selves, both physically and mentally. Apparently the blood of other creatures can't sustain them. He wasn't joking about the hunger. Even the creatures that stand near him are imbued with the power to devour someone else's life. Cool story. Ah, here we go. Another vampire. Like I said, that damage to all, it's not much, but I mean, we are doing a little bit of damage to both of them, so it does help. And don't underestimate going down in level on some of your items sometimes. Now, we want to put a rock there. I'm going to put a mountain there. Meadow there. And we've got another spider. So, got 1 spider over here. I kind of want to spread them out. You know, all the ones that can spawn multiple things. So I'm going to pop you there. I'm also trying to limit just how many it can spawn on all the tiles. Because once it hits that 4, that's it. It won't spawn anything else around it. Now, we do have some new rings. So what we got there? Loss on the vampirism, but we gain a counter percentage. Loss on the vampirism again, but we are going to gain that damage to all, attack speed, and evasion. So, better deal, I personally think. There we go, vampirism at 14%, attack speed. Yeah, it's gone down, but everything else should be beneficial. So we are also going to use these road lanterns soon as well, I think. Okay. Come on. Come on! There we go. Right, we've got another mountain. Now, I do have another meadow. Ah! Now, as you can see, we did put down a grid of 9 of them, and that is now turned into a mountain peak. That gives us an additional 120 health, plus 5 additional HP for every adjacent rock and mountain tile, so that'll go all the way around this wonderful edge. And also spawns a harpy every 2 days, so they will come in like the gargoyles do from the empty treasury. They'll just fly across and they'll sit themselves somewhere. Okay, now with this meadow, I do want to try and keep it around the treasury, but if I put it down now, it's only going to give us that plus 2 health, and I kind of want to maximise just how much we get. So I'm just going to plop him next to that spider one there, just so it's got the other bonus. And we're just going to keep going. Okay, so we're just going to pop you down there. Oh, we've nearly got to the end of the loop. Nearly there, folks. So I'm just going to speed this up for you, just so we can get to the end of the loop. And there we go. Loop level 4. So like I said before, though, everything is pretty much the same. I'm obviously just trying to maximise all the different things that I can get right now. Oh, I don't like fighting these. Okay, so we are going to put down a grove there. Put a meadow there. Just kind of a quick look at these. So I'm not bothered about the defense, really. Probably should be a bit more bothered than what I am, but we're not doing too bad. I mean, I'm at half health. We can still gain more in fights, and obviously we're gaining more at the end of each day thanks to these. We're on 30 health a day. That's going quite nicely, ticking up. So I'm not particularly worried about this run. I have had worse starting runs, to be honest. Okay. Another spider, though. What I'll do is I'm going to put that spider there, and then we're going to start utilising these lanterns. I'm going to put one here. And I'll put this one here, because I can see there, yeah, there we go. There was 2 goblins, a rat wolf, and the slime on there. So now with that one, it's just reduced that. Because obviously we do now have a lot around here, so it's probably a very good idea just to start cutting that down before it gets any worse. The one thing I'm not happy about, though, is I've not gotten a new weapon. Just still stuck on little baby damage. So hoping that will change soon. Otherwise, we're going to be a bit stuck. Okay, so we're just going to keep popping all these down. Now, the vampire mansion, I will pop him. I'll pop him there. There we go. Did not think he would spawn in, but I didn't realise how close we were to the next day. I could potentially die. Alright, so there is a new shield. New piece of armor. Come on, give us a weapon. Go on. Alrighty. So we're just gonna... I can see the harpy coming with the gargoyle. See, now, to be fair, when I first started this, I had no idea what I was doing. Just kind of put things here, there, and absolutely everywhere. Honestly, it was... I think I actually died a few times before I even got to the boss. So what we may have to consider is, especially with how low our health is maybe retreating. Now, if I click it now, just to show you an example. So if we were to leave now, we would lose 40% of our resources. We'd only get to keep 60%. So it is showing you what you're losing and what you're keeping. Now, the only thing is, these pebbles, they do turn into these rocks. Once you collect enough of them, I think it's 10, if I remember right. It is actually showing us on the bottom right when I hover over it. So yeah, once you get 10 of them, you get 1. So it's not a lot, but it's... we are still losing 1, and I don't really want to lose it, but we're going to stay, because I do still have these Oblivions. I was going to keep them for the boss, but it will come in handy once I get, like, say, to this rat wolf. And we'll see what our health turns into, because I may have to kill off these two. Because the goblins and the spiders, they are a bit too fast. Let's see where they go. No, okay, before we even get... Actually, no. See, this is where strategy comes in. So, before I get to him, I was going to Oblivion, but I've just noticed we are halfway through the day as well. So let's just see what happens before the day. So I do have another defensive shield. Oh god, another sentry. There, so let's see how badly do. Just gonna right click now to pause it straight after the fight. I think I got very lucky there. We're on 30 health. I am not... no. So this is just a very good example of when to call it quits. So we are now just going to return to camp. Yeah. I'm not happy, but yeah. Yeah, we'll retreat. We'll call it quits. Okay, so here we are back at our camp. And we've got all these little bits here. I can't believe it. Hey, everybody. The boy has managed to return. Have to admit, when I did play this first, I did think it was a girl until you said that. Survivors? Does this mean I'm not alone anymore? Where did you come from? Is there still a place without darkness? We don't know where we came from. Or we can't remember. These people you see are only a small part of what's left of the group, I think. You're not sure? We're not sure. We reached that conclusion because of the abandoned luggage and leftover daily rations. With each day, new signs of presence of people that, as far as everyone here knows, have never even been with us. It's like we forgot them. You forgot? Exactly. It's like people disappear every day and we instantly forget they even existed. Almost as if we forgot the place we came from. And our families. And maybe even ourselves. My name is Yota. That's the part I still remember. Nobody else's memory is in much better shape. That's why I remember so little about myself. Everything is forgotten. But wait, you said that I'd managed to return? That means you remembered I was here. Yes, that's why it's so important to us. We saw you leave, but you were gone before we could approach you. Listen, we can't wander around in this emptiness anymore. There's a campfire and a few sleeping bags here. A real luxury in these dark times. What do you say? Oh, of course. I'd be very grateful if we could team up. I want to restore everything. I've begun to remember the world as it was before. But there's no point to it without other people. It's too lonely without them. Remembering the world? I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm too exhausted. But we'd be glad if you could help us, and we'd be glad to help you. Just don't ask us to go with you. I don't know how you managed to return, but for us, leaving the group is too dangerous. I'll ask no such thing of you. For now, I just want to have a place to return to. A place where I can hear other people's voices. Oh, it's quite nice that, isn't it? We weren't joking about helping you. Here are the few things that survived the cataclysm and don't vanish away. Can't be forgotten. Take them. You might need them. There we go. She gave us a little bit of resources. Doo-da, doo-da. So, as you can see here, we've got the survivors' tents. They can't be destroyed, but its inhabitants will gladly move to better housing if you build it. So, we can build them better houses, and I certainly intend to. So, we're going to go straight to the build. Haha. So, as you can see, we've got this one that's highlighted in a lighter grey. That is a field kitchen. And these two in darker grey. So that just means that we're missing the resources, and it does also show you with the little red numbers next to it as well. So, we're going to go straight in and build a field kitchen. This gives plus 10% to the campfire's healing power and unlocks the Blood Grove card. Don't think it really matters for now, so we're going to put our kitchen there. Do you know the difference between a good cook and a bad cook? The food made by a good cook is tastier. What? You're waiting for something more elaborate? Sometimes the truth is very simple. Look, I have a cauldron, a hearth, a couple of knives, a bucket of potatoes, 3 onions and some ham. Nothing special, everything is very simple. But give me a few minutes and everyone at this camp will be running to my table, following the tasty smell of a good stew. Oh, I wouldn't mind a stew myself, actually. So, you can see now there's a new icon here. It's a little orange one. Click it and you get some options here. So you get an upgrade option or a dismantle option. We are definitely not dismantling it, but you can upgrade it if you have the right resources. So when you click it, it will tell you what it's going to give, slots and resources. Nice, basic and simple. Now I am going to end our first episode here. So as I've said at the beginning of the video, I thank you very much for joining me on the start of my YouTube journey. Now, I would love it if you would introduce yourselves, and I would love it if you would continue to join me. I'll be hopefully uploading this next video for episode 2, either on the same day or maybe even tomorrow. But obviously I am currently working around my working hours, which are very unsociable, so I do apologise. On a later date, I will also do an introduction video, just do a bit more about myself and what I aim for this channel. But otherwise, I love you all, and thank you for joining me, and I hope your day is well. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye for now.